Hello my beautiful people. I wasn't wanting to post this because I wasn't happy with how it turned out, to be honest. I don't know why, it just feels like I missed something. I honestly felt this way about that Bakudeku video I made, but a lot of you guys seem to have liked it. I may do a part 2, I don't know when though. If you guys want a year later part 2 for this, I will definitely write it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Kenma, you're going to be okay. Kuroo watched as Kenma scrunched his face, trying not to let his emotions get the best of him, the cicadas drowning out any noise from the background like a white noise drowning out any distractions, just leaving the two for a moment before Kuroo pulled Kenma into a tight hug. Kenma not wrapping his arms around Kuroo, he just stood and allowed himself to be held. Kitten, talk to me. I should get to class. Kenma turned on his heels, Kuroo grabbing his wrist, throwing a solemn gaze to Kenma. I will be okay. I will meet you for lunch, okay? Kenma tried giving a reassuring smile, but Kuroo could see past it. He could see the tiredness behind his eyes, the sadness in their presence as they stood there. Kuroo let Kenma go, smiling softly. Okay, kitten. Kuroo watched as Kenma turned his back, walking away towards a block of classrooms before turning away himself, heading to his class for the afternoon. Kuroo. What's wrong? You got that wired I'm sad but going to act fine look. What are you on about? Kuroo scoffed out, ruffling Yaku's hair, which earned him a frown. Dude, talk to us. Yamamoto patted Kuroo on his back as he took a seat, but the window resting his head on the windowsill, he let out a sigh, dropping his shoulders. I told Kenma. Told Kenma what? Kuroo turned his head to look at his friends. I got into university. Oh, is he okay? Are you okay? No. Kuroo sighed out again. He closed his eyes, letting memories of his and Kenma's childhood together flood in like a train. Kuroo. A small hand grabbed Kuroo's. He looked to see an angry looking Kenma. Don't forget me. I will see you next year. Kuroo let out a little laugh. Kenma frowned. It's not funny. You're cute when you're trying to be mad. I'm not trying to be mad. Kenma pouted, looking up, and Kuroo softened his gaze. Don't worry Kenma, you're always going to be number one for me. No one else will take that away, okay? Kuroo smiled reassuringly. Kenma's eyes sparkled as his chest filled with a warm sensation, a breeze hitting them both. Kenma looked away, avoiding Kuroo. He pouted, sighing, trying to sound annoyed. You're number one for me too. Kuroo, hello. Kuroo turned his attention to his friends. He smiled at them. I'm okay. You guys will see each other in a year. I mean, he is going to the same university as you, right? Yeah, but it's the whole year without him, that's the problem. I'm sure you guys will work it out. Yeah, and we're here if you need to talk, bro. Thanks guys. Kuroo pulled out his phone, opening his messages. Kitten, you okay? I'm okay. Are you okay? Number? Question mark. I just told you I'm leaving for uni without you, and I know we'll see each other in a year, but almost anything can happen in a year. Kuroo, we're going to be okay. I'll work extra hard to get into the same university like we planned, okay? Can I stay at yours tonight? Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Okay, see you at lunch. Always. Kenma put his phone into his pocket as the teacher walked into the classroom, writing on the board. Kenma sighed, resting his head on his desk. PST. Kenma. Kenma rolled his eyes at the familiar voice whispering his name. For God's sakes, I'm a year above him, yet he's in my class. Kenma turned around, seeing Lev grinning widely. It made him. What do you want? Kenma let out a heavy sigh. I just wanted to ask if you wanted to help. No, ask Yaku. But he's not in this class. You shouldn't be either. Kenma muttered to himself. Are you okay? I'm fine, Lev. No, you're not. You're pulling the face Yaku pulls after I call him short. Lev leant over the desk whispering the last part as if Yaku would hear him even if he's not in the same room. Kenma rolled his eyes, turning his body to the side to face Lev. He sighed annoyingly. Kuroo's leaving for university, but it's not like you would understand. Kenma frowned, watching as Lev's gaze immediately fell to the floor. The smile from the taller boy disappeared completely as if it was never there to begin with. It was at that moment Kenma realized he did understand. I'm sorry, Lev. No, you're right. It's not like me and Yaku have known each other all our lives. Still, you love him, right? Yeah, I do. Lev smiled. The guilt faded from Kenma's stomach. That's enough to feel the way I am, Lev. It doesn't matter if you haven't known him for all your life. All that matters is that you love him. Lev nodded. Kenma turned back to his Lev, not saying another word to him for the rest of the class. Later that day the team had lunch together. Practice was quiet. Everybody felt the tension. Kuroo and Kenma acted like everything was okay, until they got back to Kenma's house. Now they stand in the doorway watching each other break down in sobs. Kenma dragged his feet towards Kuroo, his head leaning on his chest. Kuroo lifted his head, trying to fight back his tears, failing to do so as they ran down his cheeks. He wrapped his arms around Kenma, pulling him in. Kenma straightened up, allowing his arms to wrap around Kuroo's back. Kuroo leant his head on Kenma's, his tears falling into Kenma's hair. Not sure he would mind, considering Kuroo could feel Kenma's tears soaking through his shirt. Kuroo. Kenma spoke in between sobs. I don't want you to leave me. Saying these words out loud caused Kenma to break down in heavier sobs. He stopped trying to keep the noises in his knees buckled under his weight. All of a sudden he couldn't hold his own weight like he was. Kuroo allowed him to break in his arms. He slumped up against the wall, pulling Kenma with him, letting the wall guide them down to the floor. It felt like Kuroo's heart just broke into tiny pieces, stabbing at his chest. I know, I don't want to either. Kuroo's voice broke. He pulled Kenma closer. He held him in his arms, sitting at the end of the staircase. Their breathing evens out as they drift off sleep, pulling them away from tears without even realizing it. The feeling of familiar fingers lightly scratched at his head. Kenma let his eyes flutter open. He tilted his head, seeing Kuroo staring down at him. He gently pushed himself off Kuroo's chest. A blanket that he didn't even realize was on him fell from his shoulders. Your mum came home early, woke me up by putting a blanket on us. Oh, did she say anything? Nah, she looked concerned though. Kuroo looked down at Kenma, pulling the boy back into his chest, both their eyes red and puffy from tears. Kenma tried blinking the dry feeling from his eyes. He groaned, feeling irritated that Kuroo looked down at him. My eyes feel gross. Kenma pouted out, while Kuroo smiled, placing a kiss on his forehead. Come on, let's go to your room. Kuroo helped Kenma to his feet. He stretched, groaning as his bones clicked and popped. Kenma looked at him concerned. What? You had me to sleep on. I had the wall and floor, but I'm not complaining. Kuroo spoke, looking back at Kenma as he walked upstairs behind him. He let out a soft giggle, looking up as Kuroo reached the top of the stairs. Your bones are complaining. Well, if you walk faster we can get to your bed quicker. Kenma stopped to stare away from the top floor, smiling, his eyes still red and bloodshot, mirroring Kuroo's tear-stained face. Kuroo scoffed, giggling. He proceeded to walk in the direction of Kenma's room. I'm taking your side of the bed if you don't hurry up. Kuroo looked back to the smaller boy bolting for his door. Kuroo ran after him, tackling him as soft as he could, his back hitting the soft mattress, pulling Kenma on top of him. The smaller boy giggled. Kuroo let out a chuckle. Kuroo loosened his grip around Kenma, allowing him to turn in Kuroo's arms. He began placing kisses on Kuroo's neck, keeping it soft and tender, not a sexual intention behind them. He leant up, placing a kiss on his lips. Kuroo hummed into the kiss, breathing out a relaxed sigh. Kenma laid on his chest, allowing Kuroo to wrap him up in his arms. I'm not letting go. Kuroo giggled out. Kenma's smile turned into a frown. He let his gaze trail off to his room. But you have to. I know it's not forever or anything, but I can't help but think, what if I don't get in? Or what if you find someone? Hey, stop that nonsense. Kuroo sat up, pulling Kenma into his lap, his hands resting on his waist. Kenma's vision began to blur with tears. Kuroo let his thumbs wipe away the tears before they fell to his cheeks. No Kenma, you're my number one, remember? Kenma smiled, sniffing. He nuzzled his head into Kuroo's chest and Kuroo placed kisses atop of his hair. The last few weeks of school passed in what it felt like was a blink of an eye. Kuroo and Kenma tried spending as much time together. Kenma's end-of-year exams parenting most of the weekdays, Kuroo packing and planning his leave, also complicating things. They got to spend the weekends together, hoping that not mentioning the situation it would just disappear. Kuroo groaned at the sound of his alarm blaring, his eyes shot open, grabbing his phone. Something he didn't usually do the moment he woke up, but he had to make sure Kenma was awake. He would refuse to leave if he didn't get to say goodbye. Well, I see you later, really. You up? Yeah, I couldn't really sleep. Meet me at the train station in 20? Of course. Kuroo-like message. Kuroo groggily got out of bed, heading to his bathroom, turning on the shower, letting the water hit his skin. He leant his head against the shower wall, the water falling over his back. He wanted to stop thinking about how this will be the last time he did all these basic activities in his house for a while, but they just kept rushing in. He lifted his head, scrubbing at his face with the palms of his hands, hoping that would somehow scrub thoughts from his brain. It failed. Fuck. Kuroo gritted his teeth, annoyed. Goddammit, this was supposed to be a fresh day, to a fresh start, a new chapter in his life. But it felt wrong. It felt so wrong. He was leaving without the one thing that made him feel whole. He was leaving a part of him behind, closing a page over the one thing he needed to be in the next beginning sentence of this chapter. It didn't matter if it was only going to be 12 months, he was still leaving at the end of the day, and that hurt. It hurts knowing he's going to be so buried in study and working out, adulting and settling in, and probably way too tired to contact everyone as much as he knows he would want to. He sighed, shutting off the water, grabbing a towel, wrapping it around his waist, and back to his bedroom. Once he was dressed, he picked up the small travel bag from the side of his bed. Walking to his bedroom door, he stopped, looking at how dull his bedroom looked, how empty and cold it felt, but then he smiled, thinking of all the memories that were in this room and how they would stay within this room for as long as the building was standing. That brightened his mood. God, so many memories. From the first time Kenma sat on his bed too shy to move, he remembered that day so vividly. He remembers the day Kenma asked him if he wanted to go practice volleyball, like actually want to play the sport. Kuroo knew it was probably to keep him happy, but that just showed he cared. Then there was their first fight in middle school, Kenma sneaking out of his house at 10:30 at night to apologize, throwing small rocks at Kuroo's window, causing a small crack to form in the corner of the glass. Or the time Kuroo helped Kenma dye his hair, and the way Kenma stood in the doorway of his bathroom looking anxious, chewing on his bottom lip, hoping it would come out right. Kuroo giggled to himself, reminiscing on all the good moments from his younger years. He started to think on the moments he had when he realized he wanted more than to be friends with Kenma, the late nights scrolling through pages of articles trying to find ways to confess. Then to then moment Kenma and he had their first kiss, how their lips meet in a soft small peck on the lips, and how both their faces shone a bright red. He remembers the time Kenma laughed so hard at a hairstyle Kuroo tried out had made the smaller boy choke out with laughter, causing his drink to spill from his nose, and how that exact night they had slept together for the first time. He realized all the intimate moments he had shared with Kenma in this bedroom. He smiled, closing the door before the tears already daring to from actually spilled over his face. Kuroo's phone buzzed. He pulled it from his pocket, seeing a stream of messages from Kenma. The traffic is so bad today. It's early in the morning. Why are so many people awake? Hope you haven't left yet. I should have just walked to yours. Haven't left yet, kitten, so you will most likely get there before me. Kuroo walked downstairs, greeted by his parents. They walked out the front of the car. Kuroo looked up to the sky. Was a dull gray mixed with blue, a gloomy day adding to a gloomy feeling. He sighed, taking one last look at his house and his bedroom window. He shifted his body into the back seat of the car, and his dad reversed out the driveway and began driving to the train station. He watched his neighborhood flicker by past the car window, and soon his view was out of the roads and houses he never really paid attention to, but knew how close they were to his and Kenma's house. He was snapped from his thinking to his phone buzzing. He picked it up, placing it to his ear. Kuroo. Kenma whined, sounding a little distressed. What's up, you okay? Kuroo shifted his weight to sit up straight, listening to Kuroo babble on, tripping over his words. Kenma slowed down. How far are you from the train station? I don't know, something happened, and we're still stuck in traffic. Kuroo, what if I can't make it? Kuroo's heart dropped at the sentence, his face felt cold. Hey, it's okay, I won't get on the train until you're there waving me off, okay? Kenma's breathing slowed, the panic in his voice still noticeable. Okay, wait, we're moving, okay, see you soon. Kenma's little huff of relief slowed Kuroo's rapid heartbeat back to a safe pace that didn't feel like it was going to overdrive his heart. Kuroo put his phone back into his pocket, watching as they get closer to the train station. Kenma should have just come over or take the same route his parents did. The car pulled into the lot. He got out, opening the car door for his mother like he always did. They walked through the sea of people. They stood on the platform. Kuroo wasn't focused on anything but looking around, trying to spot Kenma. He was pulled from his thoughts as a train pulled in, the doors opening and people stepping on it. Wasn't his train, but it made a chill shot up the back of his neck. Kenma, how far are you now? Like 4 minutes away, but the traffic is slow. It's okay, my train isn't here yet. As soon as Kuroo looked up, a train rolled in just after the first one left. This time it read his time and his destination. Shit. He pulled out his phone, heart racing. His palms started to sweat and the feeling in his stomach was growing stronger by the second. Kenma picked up, sounding just as frantic as Kuroo was. Kitten, my train's here. No, please, not yet. Kuroo could hear the background of Kenma's parents trying to calm him down before the sound of a car door echoed through the phone. Then Kenma's pants of breath and cars honking and revving. Kit. The line was cut off and the sound of someone calling the train. 2 minutes before departure. Kuroo couldn't believe it. His time with Kenma was now on a time limit and he wasn't there. Was he going to have to leave him and not get to say goodbye? Kenma's feet were racing in front of him. God, he hated running, he thought to himself as sweat fell from his forehead. He couldn't care about the looks he was getting. All he could think about was Kuroo and his face if he didn't make it. If he couldn't make it, his line of sight came into view of the train station entrance. He smiled as he picked up his pace, tears spilling from his eyes as he squeezed past people trying to be as gentle as possible. He picked up his phone, calling Kuroo as he reached the escalator. I'm here, Kuroo. Where? Kuroo started pushing past the crowd of people as he saw Kenma rush down the stairs. They ran to each other like this was the last moment they were ever going to breathe the same air. Kenma picked up his pace, his hair swaying behind him, and then he was in Kuroo's tight grip. He gasped out for air, letting out a sob into Kuroo's shoulder. They hugged for a short 30 seconds that thankfully felt longer. Kuroo pulled Kenma's face into his. The moment they pulled away from the hug, their lips meeting in a rushed kiss, they felt the tears on their cheeks mixing together. Kuroo, come on. He heard his parents call from behind them. He held Kenma's hand all the way to the train door, placing kisses all over his face and one last peck on his lips as he pulled him into his chest. I don't want to let go, Kenma softly said. I know, kitten. I don't want you to let go. Kuroo let go even though every bone and muscle in his body screamed at him to keep holding him, not to let go, but he had to. For now, and in a year's time he'll be back in his arms. Kenma tiptoed, placing a kiss on his forehead. Kuroo smiled softly, grabbing his hand, squeezing it softly as he stepped onto the train, still not letting go of Kenma's hand. Kenma savored the warm touch of Kuroo's hand on him, the way it felt, the way he couldn't let go, so he didn't. He let the train door break the connection as it nears their hands. They let go, not saying a word, fearing the other would break. The train jolted and started to travel forward. Kenma followed, watching as Kuroo stood at the door. A small wave as the train sped up. Kenma stopped the train, passing him. Kuroo out of sight as the last of the train flew past him. Kuroo made his way to his little cubicle. Finding his number, he let out a sigh, wiping tears from his cheeks. He dropped down into his seat. He leant his head on the glass window, watching as Tokyo flicker by, leaving it behind. Drops of rain began hitting the window. He watched the water run down and blow around due to the speed of the train. It's not forever, it's only a sigh later, my love. Kuroo sent a message to Kenma. Before leaning his head back to the cold window, he smiled at his phone buzz, already knowing who it was. Full